All right, so good evening, everybody. Sitting here in my reloading room, and I'm screwing around on the computer a little bit here and reading my comments from yesterday's video 101 that I posted up. And while it didn't get a lot of views, it had quite a few comments for the number of views it got anyway. At least I think. And I was thinking about it yesterday while I was doing it that there's going to be more people that are going to be a lot more apprehensive about the background portion of it, which is the editing process. So I am going to talk a little bit about that here this evening. When I first started doing it, I think I was using like Windows 10 or something on a previous laptop, and that version of Windows, it came with Microsoft Video Editor, and that was super easy and friendly to use. The laptop I got now has Microsoft Clipchamp on it, and it's still very intuitive. And once you understand the kind of basics of it, it's really easy to use, and it's really easy to learn on too. It's not at all intimidating, or it shouldn't be. But I am going to turn this camera around here in a second, and I am going to put it on my screen, and I'm going to pull a few files, some old files from more than a year ago of me shooting, practicing doing some stuff, and I'm going to kind of walk everybody through what the process looks like as far as trying to edit someone and put a picture in picture of you shooting and what your target looks like downrange or whatever. So anyway, hopefully people will find this useful or helpful. There's a ton of stuff out there, but on how to make videos and blah blah blah. But I know we're kind of a unique community, and that can be intimidating, and you think you got to spend millions of dollars in gear, and you don't. So anyway, let me kill this, turn the camera around, get set up, and I'll start talking you through making a video. Alright guys, so like I said, I'm using Microsoft Clipchamp as my video editing software. So, I've got Microsoft obviously on the computer, so I go to my little Microsoft window on this version of Windows, open that, and I've got all my applications, one of which is Microsoft Clipchamp, so open that. And now I've got create a new video, start from scratch, so we're going to open that up. And there's a little bit of glare. I'll turn this overhead light off. That might have made it worse. For right now, because hopefully you can see this, there's some glare, but up in this box it says import media. So I'm gonna grab a couple of files from a folder that I want to do, and we're gonna go with let's do alright, triangles, open, and wait for that to pull that out of my hard drive. And I'm actually using an external hard drive. I put all of my video on an external 1 terabyte hard drive. That way I'm not eating up memory or space or anything like that on my actual laptop. And then I can disconnect the hard drive. If I want video stuff, it's on that. Anyway, the next thing I'm going to do is import another video, and what I'm going to import now is going to be triangles, and in here I can see that this is a picture of downrange. So open, and that's going to bring that over here. And what I've done now is this is a video over here of me shooting a rifle off a barricade at some steel targets at like 440 yards, and this is going to be a camera that was through my spotting scope on those targets at that distance. Actually, I think this was in my binoculars. I don't actually remember, but we'll figure it out when we get there. So now I've got my 2 sources of media that I want to use. And all I've got to do is, if you see down here, like it's got the window, it's intuitive. It's telling you, put something here. So I'm going to start with the video that shows me shooting, and I'm going to just drag it and drop it down in there. Okay? Now, if you notice the aspect ratio, because when I filmed this, I know this was filmed through an old Samsung camera, and the camera likes to do this to me when I do that. It likes to switch the orientation. So up here in this little more category, click on that, and it says rotate 90 degrees. Do it again, rotate 90 degrees. Do it again, rotate 90 degrees. Now I've got the orientation I'm looking for, and now I can go fill. All right, but I also have this aspect ratio of 9 to 16. I don't want that. I want 16 to 9. So now I've made it where it's like a full frame for me to start my video with. Okay, so there's that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my video of the downrange portion of it, the steel being impacted, and I'm going to drag that down, and I'm going to drop it right on top of it here. Okay, so that's there. Now when I move my cursor, or if I was to just hit play, once it gets up to, I'll just hit play here. All right, once it got to right there, guys, and you see the top bubble, I don't know what to call it. I'm not an IT guy. Whatever this is here, once the cursor as it's moving gets to it, it superimposed this one and made it full screen. So all I got to do to change that is grab it up here and minimize it, make it smaller. And now I can also grab it and put it where I want it to be in, the main video. So now I've got my video of up here, the action that's happening, and this will be my downrange stuff. So let me hit play again here. Actually, let me back it back up. And now you see how it drug that in, and it is kind of seamless. Okay, so let's talk about a couple other quick things here. Now you got to figure out how to time the two together so it makes sense, okay? Because you can't have this down here, steel being hit or whatever, out of time with what's going on up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just pull this out of the way, and I'm going to continue to play this so it doesn't superimpose it over it, okay? A bunch of boring stuff here, me getting set up, blah, blah, blah. Okay, there you heard the beep. I put the bag down, I put the rifle down, and let's wait for the sound of the rifle going off. There it is, right there. First shot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring this over. I don't know when I started this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute this bottom one. There's a mute here. I'm going to mute this. And now I'm going to play this in. The sound will be on my camera that's looking downrange. And I've moved here, but this camera hasn't caught up yet. You heard that? That was the beep of when way back here when the timer told me, okay, it's time to get going and get started. So I'm going to use that as a cue at this point. I heard a beep here. Hopefully you all did. You may not have. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut this. See the split thing here, the little scissors. And because I've got this balloon highlighted, I'm going to clip this right there. And then this piece here, I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to delete it because I don't need any of that garbage that's in there at that point. I'm going to come back over here. Oh, I got to unmute. I heard a beep right there. I'm going to just drag this all the way over to here. Now I've got unmuted and unmuted. Okay, so you kind of get the idea. Now, if my timing's off a little bit and I want to get it perfect, over here I can zoom in, and what if you see this, see what it's doing to the bubbles down below? It's getting me closer, or it's slowing down the frames per second, so I can get it where it's exact. And when you've got the volume on both of them going together and you do this, you'll notice that, you know, you may hear a quick bang bang. Well, you get it to where it's like an echo effect. And when you've got it to where you've moved this one or that one way or another to where you have that like nothing more than a really quick echo, then you know you've got it as close as you're going to get it. And you know, then you kill the volume to one of the two, usually the target camera, and then just run the volume on this, and nobody will ever pick up on the difference that, you know, oh, it took an extra, you know, 1/100th of a second for the round to actually impact the target at whatever distance it is. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, and so now I'm going to back this back out, and I am going to go to the beginning here where I've got all this garbage that I don't need. So I am going to start my video right here where it's like, okay, I'm kind of prepared. I'm going to put my, you know, highlight this bubble. I'm going to clip that, and then I'm going to come back and highlight it, and I'm going to delete this section. And now see how it made this all that gray like crosswalk get out of there area? I'm going to delete that entire area. Now I've got both volumes on, so you may hear a little bit of an echo if my timing isn't right, but I am going to enlarge this full screen and hit play and view it once. My kid was asleep at the wheel. The first two were impacts too, but he was too busy smoking his cigarette to, you know, be watching me hit targets at the beginning. That was a miss. That was a hit. That's an impact or a hit. And that was a miss. Now, that final little triangle there, the last one I just shot, that's a 3-inch triangle at 440 yards. Not bragging or nothing. Alright, so let's reduce this down. I don't really need any of the rest of this, but I can do whatever I want at this point. Actually, you know, let me show you something here, I guess. Okay. One more round, I think.
25 seconds.
Okay. Let me stop it there. Now, see how because when I shut this camera off and I shut this one off, so if I want to end this video and this screen at this point after I'm dropping my magazine, I simply pull this back to here, and that becomes my end point on that. And now watch this. It's going to just disappear here. But what I like to do, because it's cooler and it's a better effect, is I can highlight in here. I go up over to this section that you're actually not going to be able to see. I don't got this camera right, so I go up over here, and there is a section that says audio, captioning, fade, you know, filters, all these other effects you can do. I'm going to hit fade, and I'm going to be highlighted in this area, and I'm going to do a full 2 second fade in and fade out. and come back over to the beginning here. And now watch what happens with how this lower screen comes in. It fades in. It's just a cool effect. Let's just jump to the end here. And now it's going to fade out at the tail end. And I can end the video anywhere I want right here. And let's just wait for me to set the rifle down. And we'll call that good. Bring this back here. I'm not really sure that I like how that ends. So I'm going to go back to this deal where I'm like getting more frames per second. And see how now when I move the cursor it slows everything down. So I'm going to come back to here. I set the rifle down. I don't want to be seen getting back up. So I'm going to pull this to right here. Zoom this or zero it back down to where it's all the way zoomed back into normal. And that's now my video. And all I gotta do is export it. We'll do a 1080p. And it's gonna send this video. Might take a couple of minutes, but it is going to remaster it, line everything up, and it's gonna send it to my downloads that I can then turn around and take it from my downloads and put it back on my external hard drive, rename it, and that's what I post. So, I don't know. Pretty cool. I hope that's helpful to some people. I know this is kind of long. This is going to be close to a 20-minute video by the time I'm done running my suck here, but it's not that hard. You all saw how easy that was. It's a matter of a few clicks. You can get out there and do it, guys. Like I said, it's not that hard. Anyway, until then, you all have a great day, and I hope to see more videos of you all at the range.
Impact. 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 Just off to the right. 25 seconds.